understand that youth unemployment is a global crisis. If you look at what World Bank projected, the next decade we expect over 10 billion youths that will be flooded to take up jobs, but then less than 50% of those will be absorbed.
Right.
Okay. Now, when we stream it down to our microeconomics, which is Zambia, and our communities, we are looking at youths being positioned to take up certain jobs, not only to depend on the job market that is there, but then we are looking at youths to get the training that they would need, youths to venture into SMEs and other business activities. So yes, youths can only do that once the environment is right. Like now, the environment is right. We just need the youths to be given the proper training that they need, to be empowered in various sectors that they want to venture into, and then to also be helped with the provision of market for their product and services. Yeah.
Okay, we need youths to be trained. Don't you think we have a lot of youths that are being trained with various skills, but is there opportunities for them to venture into sectors that they're being trained on? I would cite an example of maybe teachers. We have nurses. Recently, we had in Lusaka, doctors were protesting because they've not had jobs. You know, do we need more training for the youth, or it is high time that youth are given the opportunity and are given positions that they execute their work?
You know, the problem is previously youths were being trained to be workers, and that has created this crisis because the skills that youths have gotten, I think, should lead them into setting up businesses that would provide employment for others. For instance, I would tell you, when you talk about teachers, I'm one of a few youths who run schools, and I've provided opportunities for teachers. So those that cannot be absorbed in the government sector, because you know our population has grown. Government schools cannot absorb all the kids that we have. So that now empowers private schools to also get established and run. And government has given that platform where private schools are operating. So why can't youths who are trained in teaching, for instance, come together and be able to establish a school, for instance, and they also employ others? So that's one thing that we are looking at. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have clinicians, we have pharmacists trained. They have the experience. Some of them have done so much. They've volunteered and they've experienced. So what we need is, can these people come together and form up something that will be able to help others to also be employed? So they should not wait to be employed. So at the time they are waiting, because some of them from the training, their thoughts are like, government will have to employ them. But we have to run away from that. We have to drift from that. Okay? Even when you have a job, you should be thinking about the next source of income. You should be thinking about how you help the next person who is not you. Okay? You should be thinking about how you provide what you have for the next person who is not you. So those are things I think youth should be concentrating on this time. And I think the environment is okay for such activities.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is youths need to position themselves to a point where they do not just depend on white-collar jobs or somebody to employ them, but is that environment being created? Because for me to come up with my own thing, I need capital and I need somebody to sponsor me.
And that's where now youths are being empowered. You've heard of vast youth empowerment going around. So for me, it's about identifying skills.
But is that youth empowerment catering for everybody? We heard yesterday that it's only favoring those that are in the other camp, and of course maybe people that are politically inclined. They are the ones that are getting the empowerment.
There are various youth empowerment platforms. Okay, we have youth empowerment platforms run by the government under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We have also youth empowerment programs run by different stakeholders. So when people identified, because you have to be viable for you to be empowered. For instance, for me, I look at youth empowerment as a tool to development, but we also have to handle it critically. Because you are a journalist, for instance, and today I come with a block making machine I give you as youth empowerment. It will not work for you, because that's not, you're not skilled in that. Your interest is not there. So I'm looking at how do we need to understand